Hi, I'm Vivian Acquah, the workplace wellness advocate, and I'm going to inspire you with Link4Energy for your wellness at work. And my guest of today is Mary Jane Roy. She is the resiliency facilitator of Keystone Succes. And the main question I have for her is how to prevent stress. Stay tuned. Welcome, Mary Jane! Woo!
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I have a few questions. And my first question is, can you describe yourself within 1 minute?
Ah, well, you mentioned the resiliency
Mm-hmm.
part of what I do, and that is all combined with helping people learn to manage, deal with stress better in their lives. And we can't avoid it, so we need to learn how, with practical tips and tools, to handle it better. Make it our friend.
What is your definition of employee sustainability?
I don't really think that I've got a definition of it. Uh, what I would like to think of it as is employees who thrive, who flourish in the workplace. And the more effort an employer makes to ensure that their employees are engaged in the workplace, the greater the chance that they're going to have that employee for a much longer period of time and healthier in their work time. We don't expect employees to stay for 30, 40 years with the same employer anymore. That's gone with the times. But while they're with you, you want them as productive, as healthy as possible. And there needs to be certain elements in place for employees to thrive.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about the following? Because people lean on the government, adopt that responsibility, their accountability.
Well, I think it's can be partly,
Mm-hmm.
but really and truly, and this is sometimes hard for people to swallow, it comes down to personal responsibility. Okay,
Yes.
to really taking for yourself the right steps that you need in order for you to flourish. Uh, One of the things that I think is really important is self-awareness, and that's something that a lot of people don't have these days.
Mm-hmm.
And being more aware of what your needs are and why those needs are there and what you can do to meet those needs, Vivian, that I think is one of the first steps. So it begins with yourself.
The following question is about an article from RTL News, and it's in Dutch, but I'll translate it. They are saying, do we need to worry about people having a lot of stress these days? And then my question will be, does stress come with the job?
Okay, so the first question, do we need to worry about people
Mm-hmm.
having a lot of stress?
Yeah.
I would say yes, in a way we need to worry because nobody is teaching us how to deal and handle the stress. And if we don't have those tools in our toolbox, in our purse ready to pull out, then there's a good chance that stress is going to get the upper hand. And
Mm-hmm.
if it does, it's toxic. All
Mm-hmm.
right. A little bit of stress, we need it. It's called eustress. Think of euphoria. We need that stress to motivate us, to have this conversation. All right. Um, Otherwise, if I weren't at all motivated, I'd be sitting here very passive and not wanting to participate.
Mm-hmm.
Stress is important to us, all right? And this is what I meant a little bit about making it your friend. But when it's too much for too long, and there's
It can
no,
become an enemy instead of a friend. Yeah.
yes, it does become an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a lot of physical, psychological, emotional ramifications if we're not learning how to recover quickly from high stress situations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's a key factor. You had a second question.
The second
Was
question was, does stress come with the job?
hmm, a certain amount of stress, I think, will always come with work. We have to be prepared for it. That's why it's so important to learn how to deal with it well. some people can be highly motivated by having a stressful job, but if they're not learning to recover from it,
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to cause problems down the road. Yes, I think we have to expect that there's going to be stress, but we also have to expect that we know how to handle and deal with it.
Mm-hmm. And you say you're mentioning problems such as, can you give examples? What kind of problems people can have when they are making stress their enemy?
Well, think of it. If you, a good metaphor that I use often in terms of resiliency is thinking of an elastic band,
Mm-hmm.
because we can stretch that elastic band and
Yes,
we can stretch it and stretch it and stretch it and stretch it, but ultimately you know what's going to happen. It's going to snap. And that's in essence what happens if we continually have stress in our lives and we don't learn how to recover, let that elastic band come back to its normal size, then burnout, all right, is going to happen. Uh, Immune system problems, because the immune system is depressed when we are for a longer period under high stress situations. Problems with sleep. A lot of people don't understand, but there is a hormonal factor in the stress components that will create us having or cause us to have sleep problems.
definitely,
That
definitely.
that
Yeah,
has a lot of ramifications in terms of your focus, causes accidents to happen if you're tired. There's so many ramifications. Those are just a few,
yes,
just a
definitely.
few.
Definitely. We can talk hours for on this
Yeah,
subject, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
also want to
That's
give the viewers some tips. Do you have any tips, like 3 tips to help them deal with the stress?
yeah. Multiple recoveries throughout the day. In other words, check in with yourself. A friend of mine who's a coach said a number of years ago, and I've stolen this from her, um, that we check our phones so often throughout the day.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And, but who thinks about checking in with themselves? And just by checking in with yourself every couple of hours, every hour if you can, and just say, okay, what am I feeling now? Physically, what's happening? Am I starting to
Yeah.
become cramped up, or am I relaxed? What's happening with me? And what do I need? That's one of the gifts that was given to me uh, in a stress counselor training program that I took back in 2008, I believe it was. And the 5 words, what do I need now? And you let your subconscious tell you what it is that you need. And if you can, then make sure that you act upon it as quickly as you can. So in
Mm.
other words, what it is that you need, I need a quiet night by myself. I'm going to call my girlfriend and cancel that dinner date tonight because I really do need to be by myself. Giving back to yourself, right? So what do I need now? Multiple recovery moments throughout the day. Check in with yourself. Start noting what things are draining your energy, Vivian, and what things are giving you energy. It's a simple exercise, but it has huge payoffs. By knowing what your energy drainers are, you can actually avoid them if you can, but if you can't avoid them, then you can prepare yourself better ahead of time so that they may not be as stressful as what you were expecting. And by knowing your energy gainers, if you had a drainer that you couldn't avoid and it still is a drainer, you can always know what it is that you can give back to yourself with knowing what gives you energy. Right? And you can
Beautiful,
treat yourself. You
beautiful.
can treat yourself to that.
Yeah,
All right.
that's very
And those,
nice.
I don't know. I mean, I think those are 3 easy ones that people can implement without too much, too much problem.
I think so too. That was the last question. Thank you, Mary Jane, for this
You're
interview.
welcome.
And
You're
I'm also
welcome.
addressing to the viewers, so not to you, to the viewers, yes, you. If you have any questions, comments, or remarks regarding this interview, just drop them here. My name is Vivian Acquah. I'm the Workplace Wellness Advocate, and this was Mary Jane, the Resiliency Facilitator, and this was Link for Energy. Bye.
Bye.